right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Before You Take the Trade Analysis. I am JD the Great. If you do not have a community, go ahead and click the link down below so that way you can join one of the greatest community at Cheat Code. As well, my Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter is down there as well. So I greatly appreciate everyone that go ahead and subscribe to my channels there. Also, we're going to go ahead and get deep into it. I think the market is trying to do a couple of things that is going to be very interesting. We kind of consolidated yesterday, so let's go ahead and get into the chart. If you want to, you can go ahead and click down, right, chat, or whatever the case may be. If there's some tickers that you want me to put against the cheat code algo, that way I can tell you what your trade plan is. Go ahead and click that as well, and I will see you there. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go and start with NQ. All right. NQ is doing something that's very interesting. It looks like NQ is trying to basically consolidate at the levels that it's consolidating here. And where it is very interesting. I want to see this level close above 16,062. If it closes above it, then I think we're going to go ahead and start to really take on this order block. That means not enough buyers are stepping up to here, and then we're probably going to retest this auto fib somewhere around 16,250. That will be a good number for us to probably reject from. But right now, I think this consolidation is needed as the market is being held up by this imbalance, this imbalance, this imbalance, and this imbalance right here. So those imbalances kind of put in play that the market is trying to hold up these areas. And if we start to break down from this order block, we're probably going to go ahead and start to attack some of those imbalances down below. So if this thing does close above 16,062, I think this is going to tell us that the market is closing above it. That is the signal. Maybe even a pop-up, come back, retest the order block to see if it's really strong enough, and then probably go ahead and head to the all-time highs. The all-time highs is my yellow line, which is the 16,764. Now, listen, I'm not saying that we're going to get to 16,767. I'm not saying that we're going to go ahead and do all-time highs, but we have to take what the chart gives us. If the chart tells us that, hey, we're going to close above this level, hey, we're going to go after this target, hey, we're making higher highs, then we just follow the charts that's in front of us. Don't fight the market. Just go with the market, all right? Trust me, you'll have a better time. All right. So going into this, I do think that if we hold above this, and if we hold above it, we'll be fine. But if we break below at 15,916, we're probably going to put some pressure on this buy signal, break down, and then start to attack this imbalance that's right here. So look out for the area of possibly 15,600, or we hold the 16,062 and start to really take off to the upside. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next one, oil. Now, oil is very interesting where it is. I was looking for oil to kind of start to really come to the downside. I do want to see it test some order blocks that's down around the low 70s to high 60s. So that way we could get a real true base of where the market is sitting and where they're trying to kind of like attack. I don't think oil is going to be held down. The way the economy is going, I do believe that they want to have oil at a certain price. But if we look at this right now, it's not the best time to kind of play oil unless you're playing range trading or do some intraday trading. But you can kind of see we're compressing the price as we are trying to push down on the oscillator. So there's a lot of things that can happen right here. We're not getting any real true momentum to any direction because price hasn't moved. And then we're not getting the key volume that's probably going to put into play as well. So being on the bottom of this bearish order block does not give me too much credence that this thing is going to just take off right now. So I want to see this kind of reject somewhere around $76.68. But 77.58 has been the number I gave y'all a long time ago. I do think that this is a key level that this market keeps on respecting when it comes down to oil. And if we look at the 1 hour from yesterday, we did some very, very interesting things, right? It's almost like the market pushed up for a whole hour, and this thing, I actually watched this in real time. It did not take long for them to eat up this whole entire candle. So I think whatever depth cross we put on the 1 hour back here is trying to hold. As much as they're trying to get a W type of action here, I don't think the market really want to see oil start to get through that order block. So just be careful with the trade and notice that we are playing inside of a range. Make sure you mark off your levels because it probably could U-turn on you really, really quick. Very similar to this candle here. All right, let's go ahead and get into gold. Gold looks good. I like that it's above 2008. It may hold this level and start to really, really attack to the upside. I'm not saying it's going to go with all-time high, but where it is right now, it does look like it's trying to get through this order block. This order block finishes just above this 2018. So I would say somewhere around 2020. Hey, good morning, Casey. How you doing? I would say above 2020 is probably a good price for you to be able to play gold. So we'll see exactly where gold goes from here. All right. Same as silver. Silver is kind of having its run. Let me switch this to a daily so you can see this a little bit better. And if we look at it, they're very, very, very similar, right? It looks like they're holding up, they're pushing up. I want to see what it does with this trend line. Does it break above this 2020, right? It's probably going to go ahead and make silver break above as well. And then you're probably going to get silver to get around the level of 25.35, somewhere around there, okay? Let's go ahead and go with British pound. British pound, when we go up, they go up. So this should put some pressure on the dollar at the same time. There is a bearish order block here on the British pound. I am a little weary for the dollar because that means the dollar could get powered up right here. And I am not a fan of that. I want the dollar to continue to fall. I want to see it get to certain levels so that way we could get, kind of high five our all-time highs or get close enough to it. And then we could get a strong momentum to the downside. But with the British pound being under this bearish order block, there's a possibility unless we get above 1.2748, this thing could reverse and come retest some of the bullish order blocks that's below it. And that should strengthen the bearish side of bearish sentiment in our markets. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into natural gas. Natural gas looks like it is trying to find a way to get back up. It's not its season for the most part, but you could kind of see we are coming down real strong. Try to get pushed up around here. I would say maybe January, February, we'll probably start to see this one start to push up, but we'll see what happens with natural gas as we go through the weeks. Okay. All right. The Russell is compressing just like we're compressing or consolidating in that area. I don't know if I can be able to go through all of them, Casey, but I'll try to get through as much of them as possible. But yeah, so the Russells look like it's trying to get above that 1824 level. If we could get to the 1824 level, we could try to attack that 1893 auto fib. But if we don't, then we're probably going to have ourselves a little bit of a challenge, and then we're probably going to feel this imbalance, and then you're going to see the rest of the market start to come down. Like I said, I'm not for one side or the other. I'm just taking the fact that this imbalance is sitting right here on the Russell. And if you're a fan of the Russell, look, you may be able to get some more bullish momentum. I think it might be short-lived. You're not going to get the same size of extension to that upside like we did back here in November 14. But you probably could get and squeeze out maybe another few points coming out of it, especially going into that 1893 if we get enough support. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the last one, which is the dollar. The dollar is very interesting where it is right now. It's trying to put in a bullish candle right now, but we finished so bearish that I do think that the market is trying to find a way to make this dollar drop down even further. I do think these tweezer bottoms is probably going to give a little bit of a problem around 103, probably a psych level for them. But I would love to see the dollar get back to 101.73, somewhere around there, so that way it could almost like get the market rallying and just high five that high. I want to get that out the way, and then the dollar could go ahead and do whatever it likes to do. Let me put a fib on it so that way you can see what I mean by that. Here's a fib. So if we come to the 618 zone, let me go ahead and get rid of the auto fibs for right now so I can explain this a little bit better. Right? If we could get where we're coming into the 618 zone, right? So this should be a nice little retracement into the 618.786 zone. I think my 101.793 is a good spot for a 618 discounted level for it to rally and continue to make new higher highs. But I think whatever happens here, I don't like the 50% retracement, but it can make new higher highs from a 50% retracement. But right now, with the dollar pointing straight down and the weekly looking like this, I think they're looking for something like either the 618 at 102.55 or coming down to 101.793. Okay, so that's my take. And the market is very, very interesting right now. I like where it is. The Santa rally, I doubted it. I'm not going to lie. But we've had like 3 to 4 weeks of a rally. The dollar has been dropping. Gold has been powering up. And the Middle Eastern war is not really helping the dollar when it's all said and done. So that said, I just want to see this continue. And it hits certain levels where people are happy with their profits, then the sell-off starts to happen, then I can go ahead and get into my puts properly and maybe able to ride this all the way down. That's where I'm going with it. So let's go ahead and get into some tickers. I'm going to go back and forth a little bit. It looks like Casey got a couple of them for me. A couple ones I'm going to be looking at is Roku, Lockheed Martin, and I don't know. Let me just do Roku and Lockheed Martin. And then I'm going to go into the ones that he put up there as well. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the chart. Grab my other chart. Where's my other chart? Oops. Let me find my other chart. Where are you? There you are. All right, so here's Roku. Roku had, and I don't know. They must have really, really knocked it out during guidance because y'all see this chart? This chart is just insane for Roku because at the end of the day, I don't think they have the best business model. They do have the freebie that they have on there and all types of stuff. But to be honest, I don't see their business plan being successful. And you can see their earnings was actually red. So I'm having a hard time understanding why it's rallying like that. But again, we take the charts that they give us. That's it. All right. So if you look at here, we had a nice bullish day here. So I think this is a nice little consolidation order block that's sitting right here. We got hit with a change of character right here on the cheat code algo, letting us know that this thing is going to power up. So I'm thinking we're probably trying to target maybe around 105, maybe even 110 at the momentum that it's on. If I go ahead and put the cheat code algo trade management, let me go ahead and turn that on. You'll start to see what's going on. But like I said, this earnings was not cute. They missed their EPS by 11%, and then the worst part by they're a negative EPS. They do not generate a profit for shareholders. So what did they say in that guidance? So the first TP is at 107.18. I think that's where I'm aiming for. I got a light position on this one, but for the most part, I do think that at this point they may want to go ahead and hit it, get slapped back, and then let these oscillators kind of cool down because you could kind of see it try to cool down here. No return divergence, no return divergence, no return divergence, and it just keeps on trucking along. So I really want to see where Roku goes from here. Casey gave us ANF. Let me go check out ANF. Abercrombie and Fitch. I love these. A couple. What was it? No, actually, last week I did give PVH. PVH is the Tommy Hilfiger company. So I think I'm on the same path with you, especially going into the holiday season. So I do like this one here. Abercrombie and Fitch right now, you have an entry of 76.72. I would say you could probably enter roughly around now. I'm not going to lie to you, especially the way it's moving up. Look like they had solid earnings, a gigantic beat, good uptrend. I like where it is right now. You have a stop loss at 68.04. I would say 68, 63, maybe even 71 as a pullback. And then you have $93 as a take profit. Oh, you're going for the gusto. Let's go to the weekly. Let's see what that is. Ugh. We surpassed weekly numbers. It's had a buy in the weekly since May, and it has not looked back ever since. Let's see on the monthly. Oof. This thing is doing some major moves. I think I like your $93 level because I'm running out of levels as far as the cheat code algo. It doesn't have anything. Let me see what the 4 hour says. If I could find some type of pullback and extension. Okay, it might be the 4 hour. Okay, so the 4 hour is telling us this little pullback that happened on Monday last week was probably your best time to get an entry. And then you can see with the buy signal, we just been following all the way up, and it's just been continuing. I do like your 77, 72. It's safer for an entry, but I would say because they just made an extension and we got an imbalance that happened right here in this 4 hour, that would be probably my base that I'm looking at support, so that way I can be able to take this up. And then 78.05 is probably going to be that first challenge. So, yeah, I like the 93 target. You might be able to even squeeze out 95.35. That looks like a really, really good trade. I like that one. Let's go ahead and get another one of yours. You got GDDY. GDDY. And we're probably going to wrap up at 740. All right, GDDY. GoDaddy. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess people are building more websites. Solid beat on their earnings. Took off ever since. It looks like they're bringing in $1 billion in revenue. Not bad. I see you. Actually, you usually go for low float. Is this a low float stock? I would say. Okay, so it's not that bad. Yeah, it's a low float stock. If you don't know Casey likes his low float. That way, it could get some more impact as far as his trades. I like his style. But yeah, I would say your entry at 97.21. Let me come back to the 4 hour. 97.21. I would say you're good here. 96.44 is a good one. Take profit is around 119. I got 108. 108 before you start getting a little thin up there. And then you got a stop loss of 85. I think I like it. We got a stop loss at 84.64, but I would say 85 is not that bad either. Let me see what's going on here. Is there all-time highs? Okay, GoDaddy. Talking about all-time highs. Okay, I see you. All right, so the weekly does look like it's going up, and it's continuing to that upside. Let's see what the daily looks like. It looks tired. I'm not going to lie. It does look tired. It's going to need some type of reset. You got a bearish regular divergence here on the 4 hour. So I would say maybe wait for a pullback before you take that trade. So be careful with that. Let me go ahead and get into Lockheed Martin. And then we'll try to get 2, maybe 3 more of yours. And then we'll get out of here. Lockheed Martin. I'm eyeballing Lockheed Martin. I'm trying to see if it can continue to hold this upside. I've been charting out what it tends to do every so often after their dividends. And right now their dividends is coming up on November 30th. So I'm looking at what it's going to do with its dividends here. It looks like it's already showing weakness now. So I don't think it's going to give me that impact that I was thinking. But I think it's probably going to drop either a little after dividends or a little before dividends. And look like it's starting from here. So we had a nice little downtrend. Let me see on the weekly. Yeah, I think it's the weekly. We had a nice little downtrend. We retested it, but we failed to make any higher highs. So I think this uptrend right here is vulnerable. I think that's what they're looking for. Either this one here. They already broke through this one that happened from here to here. Let me fix that. So I think these uptrends are over for Lockheed Martin, and I think people are starting to position themselves to see Lockheed Martin come down. So I would say if anything, downside for Lockheed Martin. Let me see. Maybe the 4 hour will give me a trading plan. Nope. Let's get the 2 hour. That probably give me a sell signal on a trading plan. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm thinking somewhere around the ballpark. I won't say 441 because I do think whatever uptrend is, this one's a little weak for the most part because this uptrend has broken here. We're probably going to get a nice little bumper run test down here where it breaks down to here. But for the most part, I do think we're probably going to get into that 438, retest this downtrend, maybe even come under it and come to like 427, 434. So we'll see what happens with that, especially with the fact that it's starting to really open up the MACD. If we can get through the zero line, we'll probably see that come down. All right, so that is my take on Lockheed Martin. Let's see. Let's do 2 of yours. I think everybody knows about coins, so I'm going to You know what? Let's do coin. Just in case people don't know what coin is. Coinbase, the crypto exchange. Let's see. You have an entry for 122. Okay, not bad. Then you have take profit at 289. Whoa. Oh, sorry. Wrong screen. I was about to say 128 is your target. I got 127.14. That's a good target. And then we got a stop loss at 115.42. 115.42. Kind of brings it back to this imbalance. I think I like that one. Let me see what the 4-hour looks like right now. Yeah, it's been going for a while. Is it all-time highs? Nope. Is it filling imbalances? Nope. As long as this thing continues on this upside and doesn't get anywhere near 112.48, I think you should be fine. I think this should be a sound trade. All right, let's see. Next one, you have, is that Wingstop? Wing. Yeah, that is Wingstop. Okay. All right. So you got Wingstop in here. So let's go to the daily level for this one. You have an entry at 242. We got 241 right now at the high. I can see 242. That's possible. It's a little toppy on the daily though. Just a little FYI. 242, and then you have stop loss at 215. 215 will bring you into here. Let me see what the 4-hour has. I don't think I'll get enough information on this one. That one's a little tough. I do like the fact that it is where it is. It's breaking a lot of structure, and I think it's finding a lot of support. The only thing that's making me pause is the oscillators, but I think if you could get in at 224, it'll never get to 215, so you may get a pullback. That's what I'm thinking. But if it gets to 242, 289 is your target. I have 279 here, and on the weekly, I have 269. So I would say aim for 270, maybe 279, 280, and you should be fine with that one. 289 might be a little reach. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it might be just a little bit of a reach. So I would say, yeah, Casey, bring tomorrow the Melly, and then we'll go over Melly. If you don't know who Melly is Melo Libre or something like that. It's like a Mexican Amazon. I know a little bit about it. But I want to say thank you to everyone for chiming in. If you don't have my subscription on YouTube, I'm telling you, it's a lot of mindset stuff. And of course, replays of this analysis for those that don't have TradingView, so that way they can be able to see it, is in there as well. But I would love for you to like, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so every one counts. So if you can go to my YouTube, it'll be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit the rocket. That's how TradingView knows if I give sound information that's very helpful to everybody else. So that helps me as far as getting listed on TradingView. And also my Instagram and Twitter is down below. And if you don't have a trading community, come on over. Cheat Code Algo, we have our Discord up and running, and we also do live trading floors. So on that note, I see you tomorrow, and have a good morning, my neighbors. Later.